Here are some of the strangest apologies people made. Number 9. Just a tad too early. In Japan, apologizing can seem like a way of life. There are dedicated rituals and gestures to say, "I'm sorry." But one apology made global headlines recently when a Japanese railway company publicly apologized after one of its trains missed its scheduled departure. So, how early was the train leaving the station? On an early Friday morning in 2018, the train departed the station 25 seconds before its scheduled 7:12 a.m. departure. Yes, we're talking a full-fledged, honest apology for a train leaving 25 seconds early. While a train leaving at its actual scheduled time would be a miracle for the rest of the world, in Japan, it's absolutely mandatory and expected. The West Japan Railway Company issued a formal apology via a press release on its website. According to the railway company's statement, the train's conductor misunderstood the scheduled departure time and sent a signal to leave the station before 7:12 a.m. At that time, several people were still on the platform waiting to board. One of these passengers reported the incident to a station attendant who contacted the Osaka General Directorate. Japanese trains are supposedly usually so punctual that commuters can synchronize their watches to them. In 2017, managers at the Tsukaba Express line between Tokyo and Tsukaba apologized after a train departed 20 seconds earlier than scheduled, even though passengers did not complain. Not gonna lie, Japanese work ethic is just unreal. Number 8. Abby the Otter. Imagine living in a culture where anyone can take offense for anything, even if it has nothing to do with them. Oh wait, maybe we're already there. The Monterey Bay Aquarium in California issued an apology after tweeting a photo of an otter it described as thick, with a AC. Well, apparently pointing out that an otter has some curves is offensive to some people. The tweet also contained many other lines referring to Abby the Otter's waistline. Although Abby the Otter's thick pic had earned more than 17,000 retweets and 57,000 likes, the aquarium quickly apologized for its use of language. According to the aquarium's 4-part apology tweet, the offending message was just meant to reference popular Twitter memes, not to mock anyone. The aquarium also had to answer questions about why Abby looked so thick in the first place when people started questioning the animal's health. Oh, come on. Can an otter pig out once in a while? Christine D'Angelo, the aquarium's curator of mammals, explained that the 11-year-old otter weighed a healthy 46 pounds and is in fact far from obese. Apparently it was just the angle of her hips and the way she posed in the picture that made her look fat. Look, give Abby a break. Number 7. No dates. Imagine having a job where part of the stipulation is that you cannot date anyone. That's essentially what Japanese pop star Minami Minegishi agreed to. She decided to show how sorry she was by shaving her head and filming an apology after breaking her management firm's rules by spending a night with her boyfriend. Minegishi apologized to her fans and said she didn't want to leave the band AKB48, an extremely popular girl group in Japan with over 100 members. How there's that many girls is something someone from Japan will have to explain to us. The management company behind AKB48 said Minegishi failed to abide by its cardinal rule, no dating. The apology itself is crazy, but what may be the actual crazy thing is management expecting members of the group to not date. What are they, a group of nuns? Minegishi's apology came hours after a tabloid newspaper published photographs of her leaving the apartment of her boyfriend. In the video, posted on AKB48's official website, she said she made the decision to shave off her long hair to show how serious her apology was for her thoughtless and immature actions. Head shaving is a traditional form of showing contrition in Japan. Oh, so maybe that's why Britney did it. Number 6. More than enough. How strange would it be if you're driving around and all of a sudden you see someone apologizing to you on a billboard? In late August 2018, a pleading boyfriend, someone who probably had watched way too many romantic comedies, posted more than 300 signs around the Indian city of Pune in a desperate attempt to make up with his girlfriend after she broke up with him. 25-year-old Nilesh Karakar reportedly spent around $1,000 on the groveling posters, which read, "Shavid, I am sorry," in bold print with an image of a red heart. Some smaller ones were placed in the middle of roads, while giant ones were put up on billboards. As if getting dumped and making a fool of himself wasn't bad enough, our Romeo also got a visit from the local police for his stunt. Residents of Pune started complaining because, well, some of the signs were covering actual road signs. Of course, the Milesha's name wasn't on the banners, but police still managed to track him down after visiting a few local printing shops. When they caught up with him, they cited him for destroying public property. Yeah, we highly doubt any of those signs worked for him. Number 5. Absidy. Sometimes we see something that's so ridiculous we can't help but laugh. That might have been what happened to one Southwest Airlines gate agent who reportedly laughed 5-year-old passenger's name Absidy, spelled A-B-C-D-E, within earshot of the girl and her outraged mother. This happened in Orange County, California in November 2018 when the employee noticed the young passenger's unique name pronounced Absidy. According to the upset mom, the gate agent started laughing and pointing at her and her daughter. The mom couldn't believe it when other Southwest airline workers supposedly joined in the laughter, all just feet away. The gate agent even snapped a picture of Absidy's boarding pass and posted it on social media. Okay, that was a bad move, but maybe the mom should take some of the blame here and not name her kid Absidy if she didn't want the attention. When the story got out, Southwest apologized for the name mocking, saying the employee violated the golden rule of treating every individual with respect. Well, good luck to Absidy. Something tells us this isn't the last time her name will get this kind of attention. Number 4. Lifeline Expedition. Lifeline Expedition is a non-profit organization founded in 1997 by British citizen David Pott. Its members believe that white people should apologize for the Atlantic slave trade that happened hundreds of years ago to people from the areas it affected. Apologizing for something that no one alive took part in already sounds controversial enough, but wait until you hear the group's definition of an apology. Lifeline Expedition gathers white people together to actually put on chains and shackles to reenact the slave trade. Is this the definition of taking guilt to a whole new level? We're gonna have to say yes. The group's main goal, as stated on its website, is, quote, to bring an apology for the slave trade. People in the US, Canada, Australia, and the UK have taken part in reconciliation walks to help, quote, heal the past and transform the future by basically play acting as slaves for a day. Do we really need to say that the group's marches are controversial, especially when many of the people involved are children? Maybe it's not exactly what they were aiming for, but Lifeline Expedition has actually succeeded in bringing a lot of different people together to point out that this grim parade isn't exactly the best way to address issues from the past. Number 3. Pizza makes everything better. Back in 2014, a Chevron natural gas well exploded in Greene County, Pennsylvania. Normally, stuff like this would happen and it would barely make it into the news since, let's face it, it's quite common. However, it's what Chevron did after the explosion that brought the accident to national headlines. In an attempt to apologize for the accident, Chevron decided to offer some of the Pennsylvania residents living nearby compensation. No, we're not talking millions of dollars here, or even a few thousand. Residents near the fracking well began receiving apology letters from Chevron along with a gift certificate for one large pizza and a 2-liter drink from a local pizza shop. Chevron planned on giving out 100 of these certificates for a fire that burned for 4 days. Attempting to distract residents from the explosion with a promise of a free meal, special combo only though, is odd enough, but in light of how terrible this particular accident was, the offer seems downright insulting. We really can't say we're surprised that a multi-billion-dollar oil company would do something so dumb. Number 2. Airbrushed out. Hey, when a country already doesn't like one type of person, might as well just not offend anyone and delete that demographic, right? IKEA seemed to adopt that ideology when they deleted images of women from their catalog intended for circulation around Saudi Arabia. The issue was highlighted by the free newspaper Metro, which compared the Swedish and Saudi versions of the catalog. Metro showed that women were airbrushed out of the otherwise identical pictures showcasing the company's products. For example, one picture showed a family getting ready for bed with a young boy brushing his teeth in the bathroom. However, a pajama-clad woman standing next to the boy is missing from the Saudi version. Another picture of 5 women dining were just all removed in the Saudi edition. IKEA apologized for removing the women from its ads. But hey, IKEA isn't really the only culprit here. Women don't appear that often in any Saudi advertising. Most Saudi-owned television channels show ads where women wear long dresses with scarves covering their hair and long sleeves. In imported magazines, black bars censor out many parts of a woman's body, including arms, legs, and chest. And get this, when Starbucks opened its coffee shops in Saudi Arabia, it removed the long-haired woman from its logo, keeping only her crown. Number 1. Sorry, not sorry. Do you guys know about the whole situation with China and Taiwan? Basically, it goes like this. Taiwan has its own government, but China still thinks Taiwan is a part of them. And this is where this strange situation stems from. Chao Tzu-yu is a Taiwanese singer in a 9-girl Korean pop band called Twice. Back in 2016, another Taiwanese pop singer, Michael Huang, criticized then 16-year-old Chao for performing while holding a Taiwanese flag. The Taiwanese flag is a sore point for some Chinese who view its display as calling for an independent Taiwan. Days later, Taiwanese media reported that Chao had been banned from performing on a Chinese TV channel. Chao's band was set to perform on that channel's Spring Gala. The agency that booked the show also demanded that Twice's management company refund the $15,000 deposit. Then, next thing you know, Chao appeared in a YouTube video posted by JYP. Clad in a black sweater, she bowed deeply and tearfully and read a scripted apology. Stating that there's only one China, she added that the two territories are one and the same, and she's proud to consider herself thoroughly Chinese. Her apology has been viewed millions of times on YouTube. Who knows how much she was actually forced to do the apology and how exactly she felt about the situation. Between her and our earlier Japanese pop star who cut off her hair, it looks like it's tough being a pop star in Asia.